What if I told you there was a phone you could drop on concrete, and the concrete might lose? Before smartphones became fragile computers in our pockets, Nokia phones had a legendary reputation for surviving almost anything. But why were they so hard to break? Take the classic Nokia 3310. It was small, simple, and incredibly tough. No giant glass screen. No complicated cameras. No delicate hardware packed into an ultra-thin body. Instead, Nokia focused on something surprisingly basic: durability. The plastic bodies were designed to absorb impacts, while the phones had fewer fragile components that could fail. And because the displays were small and simple, they were far less vulnerable than the huge glass screens we use today. But here's the part most people forget: old Nokia phones weren't just physically tough. They were also technologically simple. There were fewer apps, fewer sensors, no massive processors, and almost nothing constantly running in the background. That meant there were fewer things that could go wrong. And if something did break? In many cases, you could simply replace the battery or another component instead of replacing the entire phone. But Nokia's biggest advantage wasn't actually the plastic. It was the philosophy behind the design. At the time, manufacturers weren't competing to make phones thinner and thinner. They were competing to make phones that people could depend on. A Nokia phone wasn't designed to look futuristic. It was designed to work. That's why stories about Nokia phones surviving drops, water, dust, and years of abuse became so common. And there was another huge advantage: battery life. With tiny displays and extremely efficient hardware, some Nokia phones could run for days on a single charge. Imagine that today. No charger anxiety. No cracked glass dominating the front of your phone. Just a device that called, texted, and kept working.